Hello, friends. I've been keeping a dark secret. I'm going to tell you what it is in a second, but it's something that's been going on in the last 7 weeks or so. And it's finally something I can talk about because I feel comfortable talking about it. So it's a drummer's nightmare, right? I mean, things much worse have happened to other drummers, which I have developed a great empathy for. And, it's one of those things that if you're not careful, it can be really frustrating to your career. But if you take care of it, it's just fine. Now, this happened to me once before, okay? So I'm going to tell you what it is. I broke my ankle. The bass drum foot. The few people that know, refer to it right away as, oh no, the bass drum foot, right? Not the right foot, the bass drum foot. So I broke my ankle. It's, very painful at first. It was pretty painful. But now it's much better. It's been 7 weeks. The doctor kept me in this boot for 7 weeks. And it's something that I can talk about it now because I'm not afraid. So the first time this happened to me, I was living in Italy, and I broke my outer metatarsal bone, and had to get a cast, and completely freaking out because the doctor at the time said that I'll never play the same again, right? And that completely freaked me out. So I was really worried about how I was going to recover and what would happen. And, as it turns out, as soon as I got the cast off in Italy, I went back to gently playing on the bass drum. And funny enough, the bass drum pedal was amazing therapy for the foot. It really made me think about, what people go through that have had to stop playing because of health issues or whatever issues. And I got, so depressed the first time this happened to me. I was thinking, oh my God, what if I have to stop playing? What if just the worst thoughts came into my brain. And slowly I recovered. And, I went, when I went back to the kit, I started to work on things that I kind of didn't work on before to get better, to help my pedal technique. And that really helped my recovery. As it turned out, I played better than before. That doctor was wrong. Of course, doctors are not always right. And he didn't imagine that I was a drummer and that he would take such care of the situation. Now, I'm not panicked because I already know that I'm going to get better and I'll be playing again very soon. And 2 days from now, I go back for the final x-ray at the hospital. And here in Vietnam, by the way, which is an amazing hospital. And they're going to tell me whether I can start putting weight on this leg again. This whole time I've been walking on crutches, cooking on crutches, doing everything on crutches. And it's been a real pain in the ass, to be honest. But I'm not panicked, right, like before. One issue has been, musician's life, man. You're in a foreign country. You're working in a foreign country. You don't have a lot of friends you can depend on for things like this. Things happen, and you just have to arrange your life around it. I've had to, instead of going to the supermarket, I have to order everything on Grab. Grab is a service here in Asia, which is very popular. Home delivery. They deliver anything you want to your house. So I've been having all the groceries delivered all the time. Obviously, I can't go to the supermarket. I just go to the hospital and come back home. So cooking, I manage to cook. I've got my crutches and I manage to cook. I don't like ordering food out, man, because I just don't trust most restaurants. So I like to cook for myself as healthy as possible. And Yeah, those kind of things you just adjust to. Fortunately, I have experience with this already, so like I said, I wasn't completely freaking out. The first time it happened to me, I was living with my girlfriend in Italy, and she really helped me out. I mean, the whole family and everything. So even though I was in a dark place mentally, I had a lot of support from her, and unfortunately, she's my ex-girlfriend. Whatever, that's another story, and and that kind of offset the stress of the situation. But this time, since I have that experience and I know I'll be recovered very soon, I'm not freaking out. Okay, so the next issue is how to deal with the pressure of what's coming. In 3 weeks, basically, a little less than 3 weeks, I have a tour coming in China. I got to get my plane together again, like fast. After that, I have another tour back in Vietnam. There's more gigs coming up. So, man, there's going to be a lot of playing happening next month. And the pressure is on to have, the foot fully recovered and be able to play. It's pressure. But at the same time, you have to take it slow. You have to give that foot a chance to heal properly, or else there's going to be problems in the future. I'm not worried about it though, because I've had, like I said, the experience before. So those are kind of some of the things that you deal with when something like this happens. Imagine if you're a football player or whatever, you break your leg and they're paying you millions of dollars and your leg is broken and you can't play. I guess it's kind of a similar pressure with anything you love. You can't do it and you totally freak out. So that's what's been going on. That's my deep, dark secret. What else can I tell you? I've been catching up on administrative stuff. This is not a secret to the people who have been studying with me online. They know at the moment I can't play. So but for most people, it's kind of a secret. So I've been catching up on things, administrative things that I've been putting off, and things like I've rewritten my book, Paradiddles and the Magic Sticking. I've got the second edition coming out. I can't release it just yet because I have to practice all the new stuff. I've written a ton of new things that go with the book, so I've got to practice it. And writing a book, you have to review all the exercises, make sure all the text is correct and numbering, all kinds of things like that you have to worry about. That's the way it goes. So I've pretty much finished it all, and now I'm at the point where I have to practice what I wrote to be able to perform it for you guys. And that's what's going on. A lot of times I sit and watch movies because I just can't take the pain, or the swelling goes up, and I have to stop whatever I'm doing and just lay down and relax. I mean, not anymore. There's no swelling or pain anymore, but the doctor has kept me in the boot, and this is the 7th week, right? So I thought it would be only 4 weeks, but no, he kept me in the boot. I had an x-ray before, another 2 weeks, he said. So I hope that in 2 days, the x-ray shows that it's pretty much healed and I can start walking again and playing. The hospital in Vietnam has been amazing. I think in the United States, this would have been a fortune, cost a fortune, right? Here, I've got to tell you, the whole thing with x-rays and doctors and equipment and checkups and, everything cost me less than $300. Maybe a little over $300. Amazing. And the hospital is an international hospital, a very good hospital with all the latest equipment and whatever. I mean, it's been amazing. So that part I'm not worried about, and I'm very grateful to Vietnam. Also, the people in Vietnam, they see me on crutches, I'm going to the hospital, or if I'm getting in a taxi, the taxi guy, he gets out and he opens the door and he helps me into the car. They're very empathetic and sweet here in Vietnam. The people have been very sweet. The guys that come deliver the groceries, they see me on the crutches. I have to go downstairs and open the gate, and they'll carry the groceries to the elevator for me. And very, very nice, man. Everybody that I've encountered, the times that I've had to go on the street, it's been very sweet, and like they take care of me when they see me. So it's so nice. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. I have been keeping my hands up, obviously, because working on the book. And it's a lot of fun also to just practice. So that's what's going on. That's my deep secret. There was a time, when you wouldn't talk about these things and you're afraid people, they're not going to hire you because something's wrong with you and maybe you can't play like before. Man, baloney. All right? Especially since I run my own life and I don't depend on anybody to get gigs for me. That's a huge relief. I don't depend on anybody. I don't care what anybody thinks. And that's the way it should be, I think. So, my friends, thanks for watching it. That's my deep, dark secret. In 2 days, I'll have more information and hopefully be back playing. I'm going to, document my first hit on the kit in a couple of days if they let me take the boot off. And so we can keep up to date in case something like this happens to you. You'll know what to do. All right, my friends. Thanks for watching this. Peace.